When hope is lost, I'll call you Savior. When pain surrounds, I'll call you Healer. When silence falls, you'll be the song within my heart. That is a chorus from an old Tim Hughes song. It's a beautiful, powerful song of lament where we're called to come and bring the reality of our pain, our struggle and our suffering before God, and yet in it to turn towards Him, to be real about where we are, but to turn it towards Him and to allow Him to renew our trust within Him, even in the midst of struggle and difficulty and suffering. And this week, today, we're starting a new series here in Wake Up Well. We are going to be journeying through 12 stations of the cross in our journey up to Resurrection Day on Easter Sunday in 12 days' time. And alongside that, we're also focusing on lament as we head towards this Sunday. You'll remember Nick and Marjorie told us that we're going to be spending all our time in our services, our gatherings, focusing on this idea of this God-given gift of lament, where we can bring the pain, the struggles, the loneliness, whatever it might be of this past year to God. It's really important, actually, as the people of God, that we don't cover over the difficulties of life. But this gift of lamenting, rather than just simply being a venting of emotion and then running away from God, it's a case of coming before God with the questions, with the lack of answers, with the pain, with the struggle, opening it up and bringing it before God, and in that place asking Him, would you renew my trust within you, even where I can't see the way forward? So today, the first station of the cross that we're looking at ties in really well as we think about lamenting as well. So Matthew chapter 26, and it's verse 36 onwards. It says, Jesus went with his disciples to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to them, "Sit here while I go over there and pray." He took Peter and the two sons of Zebedee along with him, and he began to be sorrowful and troubled. Then he said to them, "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me." Going a little farther, he fell with his face to the ground and prayed, "Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me, yet not as I will, but as you will." Then he returned to his disciples and found them sleeping. "Couldn't you men keep watch with me for 1 hour?" he asked Peter. And he goes away and he prays again. And as he prays again, he prays the same thing. "If there's any other way for you to do what you want to do, God, without me having to go to the cross, don't make me walk through the sorrow and the pain and the suffering of that." He expresses the sorrow that he's feeling. And yet he comes before God with it and says, "Even though I don't want to do this, I want to trust you. Your will be done, not mine." And he faces the temptation that all of us face when we find ourselves in a place of struggle, when we find ourselves in a place of sorrow, as to what do we do with it? Do we allow the sorrow to cause us to run from God, or do we allow it to be something that we fully express, not hiding the struggle or the pain or the unansweredness of where we find ourselves, but allowing ourselves to come before him and letting him renew a faith and a trust in him, even when we don't understand. And Jesus here, what I love in this account, as we see Jesus facing the temptation of what to do with sorrow, he deals with it in a healthy way. But what I love is even in his struggle, his friends left him. They couldn't even stay awake. They couldn't be with him. Jesus was lonely. He must have felt completely alone in that moment, in his darkest moment, just as when he was on the cross, in his darkest moment, and he cries out, my God, why have you forsaken me? Because that's what it seemed like to him. Friends, we discover that it's healthy and good, just as Jesus did, to express our sorrow, to express our pain, to express the temptations that we're facing. It's good to do that. And it's good to know that we have a Saviour in Jesus who already has faced suffering and pain and loneliness and isolation. And when we feel those things, we're not alone in that Jesus already has faced those things as well. We have a Saviour who knows what we're going through, and we can relate to him and he can relate to us. But the good news is that because he's gone through that, he genuinely, authentically can bring comfort and compassion to us. So friends, I want to invite you today, as we look back over this past year, if you have found yourself tempted to run away from God because of sorrow, because of isolation, because of loneliness, come today, be real with him, bare your heart, the truth of your emotions, don't hide it, pour it all out before him, but choose to bring it before him rather than to allow it to cause you to run from him. And in that place, just wait on him. You may feel nothing, but know that he is the God of all comfort. I bless you today to be real, to pour out your sense of isolation, loneliness, to be real about the temptations that you face, but to know the God of all comfort with you in the midst of it all. Have a great day, guys.